Hi everyone, this is Heidi from Adventuring Psychics giving you a shout out and a shout out to our psychic advisor Jane Dowler. Now, last week I was talking to all of you about altars. And as spellcasters and witches alike, most all of us have an altar. How we use it, how it's represented for our own individuality. Now, on that altar, we usually have represented the four elements. And part of the element, which I said that I was going to talk to you about this week, is the Athame. Now, if you're not familiar with an Athame, they are basically traditionally double-edged swords with the black hilt. I wanted to let everyone know you don't always have to have that representation as an athame if you're not comfortable with it, if it's not something that talks to you or blends in with your own individuality as a spellcaster. What we use our altars for is not also necessarily for, casting out the charms or casting out the spell. It could be representation of meditation, a kind of way to get your day started, how to end your day, especially if you like journaling. That could be your peaceful area so that you can start the day and end the day right then and there. But as part of your altar, we usually have the four elements represented. And as part of the fire element, which I told you I was going to talk to you about this week, is called the Athame. And the Athame is actually something that can be individual for everyone. And someone who was very nice gifted this to me a very long time ago. And the Athame is a representation of the fire element. So this is something that we use for banishing, for protection. Also, it can close your circle if you're doing a spell casting, or it opens your circle after you're finished. It doesn't necessarily at all need to look like this. They can be represented as something with steel, wood, plastic, however you want it represented individually for you on your altar or just in general. But an Athame's job is basically to gather the energy and push it forward out into whatever casting that you're going to be doing. So if you are doing a protection spell, you want to have this with you. If you are doing a banishing spell, you want to have this with you. A wand is usually the air. That's representation of the air element. So different spells altogether, but since I'm talking about the Athame, that is what the Athame is going to do for you. And it's a ritualistic um, element for you to use. It is not anything that you use in defense. You don't use it on food. You don't use it to harm anyone. And traditionally, a long time ago, they used to say that if it actually was used in harm and it touched blood, it was no longer available to be used for you to um, do any of your spell casting, and you couldn't be, it would kind of be like being deactivated if any kind of negativity of, if you were using this in a bad way. Do you know what I mean? So it is ornamental, but for you as a spellcaster, it does everything that it needs to do for you. As I said, if you don't have your salt or if you don't have your chalk and you need to create a circle around you, that's what your Athame can do for you. It's a tool, and that's a representation for all of us to be aware of. With your altars, you have air, water, earth, and fire, and your Athame is something that represents the fire. So, that's a little history on your Athame and what you're able to do with it. If you have any questions or curiosity, info at aventuringpsychics.com. And do me a favor, everyone, if you have your own altars, let us know what you have on yours that represents the fire element. Because if you don't want to have a candle there, Do you know what I mean? You always want to practice safety first if you are going to have a candle, but if you want something that represents fire or represents water, you can completely do something different than actually have the fire there. So in representing fire, your Athame will definitely do that for you. All right. So aventuringpsychics.com, that is our website. You are able to check out any of our products that we have, as well as a one-on-one with Jane and myself. So everyone, have a great rest of the day. Bye-bye.